Hey guys. Okay, so what is beer? That's the subject here, and that's what we're going to be tackling. Just as a light icing on the cake, just a icebreaker as far as this subject, which is immense and excellent. So, what is beer? I'm going to just read off some things that are straight off Google. I mean, you could do it yourself, but I'll tell you instead. So, beer is one of the oldest and most widely consumed alcoholic drinks in the world, and the third most popular drink overall after water and tea. Now, it occurs to me that we would ask, brewed beverage, how about coffee? Well, coffee's number 4, right? And it's a brewed beverage, just like beer is. Okay, all right, but beer's number 3 after water and tea worldwide. That's pretty crazy. That means there's a whole lot of people out there that consume beer, which means that you probably know what beer is already on a blanket level, because you've probably seen it, tasted it, and smelled it or whatnot, had it in cooking, but you may not know what beer really is. Okay, so from there, beer is brewed from cereal grains, most commonly from malted barley through the wheat, maize, and rice are also used. During the brewing process, fermentation and starch sugars in the wort process, and ethanol and carbonation in the resulting beer. So, beer is a brewed beverage that starts obviously with water and cereal grains to create what is called a wort, W-O-R-T, right? So a wort is your first process in making beer, but that's basically taking grains and brewing them, yes? So heating up water and steeping your grains in the water and then pulling the grains back out creates a wort, right? That's the basic beginner level, level 1 of making a beer, right? So, but if you think about it, the grains that are put in there and then it's steeped in that water basically is making sugar water. That's what you're making, right? With a whole lot of other flavors, but sugar water nonetheless. Although I like the taste of corn and wheat and rye and barley and all those things. They're really great, but it's pure starch, right? Starch and sugar. That's what you're making. So how do you go from that to beer? Well, your hops. There you go. Most modern beer is brewed with hops, which adds bitterness and other flavors and act as a natural preservative and stabilizing agent. Other flavorings can be added. Oh, of course, who hasn't seen the chocolate beers or the grapefruit beers or banana, you name it, it's probably out there, right? But maybe not. I mean, it's a wide world of experiences that are out there and a wide world of beers that are on the shelves. I mean, you go to any emporium anywhere, and you can come across 50 to 100 different types of beer pretty easily. So, and something else that's mentioned here, it says commercial brewing does away with the natural carbonation and replaces it with forced carbonation. Now that's something I like to discuss and basically say that natural carbonation versus industrial carbonation is the difference between a live and a dead beer. What I call live and dead, right? Live would be, when I say live, I mean active yeast. It's still alive in your beer when you're drinking it versus a dead beer, which is no longer, I mean, it is what it is. It'll never get any better. There's no change in it. There's no living yeast in it at all, right? So again, we'll tackle that subject also, but I kind of like the idea of a beer that can get better with age, just like a wine would, right? Anyway, we'll cover that later, but I just wanted to cover on the introduction of what it is and what people normally think of it, and kind of start with that, like a basic level 1. Here's what beer is, right? So it's a bunch of grain that's been steeped in water, and hops have been added to it to kind of keep it from being a super sweet to not sour, but kind of, well, you can have sour and sweet, but it's kind of in the middle, right? That's the basic beer, is a sweet and sour drink, but brought from grains and hops, right? You got the sweet and you got the sour, and it kind of, you can go either way, but you've got sweet and sour. That's your drink there. That's it. That's beer, and then it's carbonated, right? That's a requirement for beer also. I mean, you can have flat beer, but carbonation is expected in a beer. So that's the beginning. That's the introduction to what a beer is. I hope that makes sense. And for any questions, please post. And again, thanks for watching, guys.